Hey gamers, today we're going to look at a board game about selling and making your own perfume. Parfum. Yeah, this doesn't interest me either. Setup for the game is easy. What you're going to do is you're going to put your starting player tokens right here on the 0/100. You can put your die out, your water drops. You're going to randomly select 6 of these bottle tokens from this bag here randomly. And then of course you're also going to put out 5 starting customers that you're going to try to sell perfume to. Now you're going to go through stack A first, and then of course stack B last. Now there is a tile on the B's that is no customer. You'll put this 6 to last, and that basically indicates when the last round of the game will happen, if it gets to that. Now each player is also going to take a little player board of their color. In this case I'll be yellow. And they're also going to start off with 2 water drop tokens. And what they're going to do is they're going to determine the order of play, with first player getting the least amount of actions and fourth player, last player, getting the most actions, but of course having probably fewer options. Now how it goes, if let's say it was my turn and I got to pick one of these, I get to choose different actions to take. Now what can those actions be? Well, one of those actions can be picking dice to roll. So for instance, if I picked 1 black die, that would be 1 action. 2, 3 would be 3 actions, and so on and so forth. And I'm trying to roll these to get one of these little fragrances up here. Another action I can take is I can grab one of these water tokens here. I'll tell you what water tokens do in a minute, but they can also count for victory points at the end of the game if they have that. They can be worth 1, 2, 3, or maybe 0. Now the total amount of water drops you can have in one turn is 4. If you have more than 4 at the end of a turn, you need to discard down to 4. Now another action you may want to do is if you're third or fourth player, as you see, when other players are grabbing up tokens, there may not be any you'll be interested in. Well, for an action, you can grab an additional tile from the bag and place on the board and see if it's something you would like. So what you're doing is you're trying to roll die and trying to match these little bottles with the emblems on the card. So for instance, let's say I wanted to go for this one. Well, I could pick just 1 die and try to roll it for 1 action, but I want to increase my chances, so I'll pick 1 for 2 actions. Maybe I'll pick all 3 for 3 actions, because who knows, maybe I can get that one and the double black one too. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the die and you're going to roll them, and you're going to see if you can get all the matches here. Here I've gotten 2 bottles and 1 fly. Now flies are bad. Those are failed rolls there if you get a fly in your perfume here. So to get rid of that, I got 2 choices. A, I can change in one of my water drops and re-roll this die, or I could give in 2 water drops and switch that fly to a bottle, and you can do that. Now flies on these die, there's 2 flies and 4 bottle icons on these die. On the die up here, it's 50-50 on black and purple. So it's harder to roll bottles on the 2 upper die than is the lower die, but that's what water tokens do. They help you re-roll or change your die outcome. So this is actually a good roll for me, because if I wanted to, I could take this one and this one. And so let's say I did that, and that was my turn there, and so I took these. Well, first off, I'm going to get 3 victory points, because that's how much each one of them were, so I'll move my guy up 3. Now I get to flip them over, and I get to put them on my little player board exactly where I want them. If I want big bottles are 3 pieces long, they have a middle to them. Smaller ones just have a top and bottom. And you can place them anywhere on the board that you want, your player board that you want, but once you place them, you may not switch them in the middle of the game. I can't say later on, you know what, I think I am going to put it over there. No, I have to keep it over there if that's where I first played it. Now let's say in the game, and by the way, how would you tell which one's a bottom, middle, or top? If you look on the back of the cards again, it will actually tell you, indicate what where it is on the bottle. So it actually influences your choice on what to go for. You're not always going for the biggest points on the board here. That's a 4, I'll go for that. No, that's another middle. I don't want another middle. I want a top. As you see, this one's a top. Let's say I got this one, and let's say I completed this. If I completed a small one over here, that still counts as a perfume bottle, and I would get 2 of these little perfume tokens, and I place it on the board. If I completed one of the big bottles on this side, I would actually get 3 perfume tokens and place them on my player board. Now, after everyone's gone, we then go to the selling phase. And in the number of player order there, you're going to sell to 1 or maybe 2 of these customers. So let's see who I can sell to. Well, I can't sell to this lady who wants double lime or this lady who wants violets because none of my fragrances match those icons on those customers. One I could sell for is this person because he needs 2 vanilla, and I actually have many vanilla tokens on here, so definitely 2. I could definitely sell to him. I can also sell to this lady here because she wants lavender, and I do have one of those icons on there. You can only sell to customers if you have enough icons. If she wanted 2, if she had 2 lavender icons on her token, I could not service her because I only have 1 lavender icon on this total perfume bottle. Now, I can't grab both on my first round. I have to decide which one I want. So let's say I want this one because he's worth more points. So I get rid of one of my fragrance tokens and I pick him up. He's worth 8 victory points, and I would move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the next round, let's say this player and this player goes, and now it comes around again. If that customer's still around, I can pick them up on the second round of selling and say, okay, get rid of another token and keep this one and go up 5 more. Like that. And so the game keeps going each round as people are building bottles. If I want to build more bottles, I'll just move them over to the side. That you can build bottles out. I'll just start a new one. This one wouldn't go away. It would stay on my player board, especially if it had perfume on it. But I just add 2 either tall bottles or short bottle orders to sell to customers. And let's say at the end of the round, it looks like this. Now at the end of the round, what you're going to do is you're going to replenish all the customers, replenish all the tiles here, and then of course, starting with the player who is in last place, they're going to choose which position they want to go in for the next round. And then we go to blue's choice, green's choice, and yellow, since they're first, would be stuck with whatever these 3 did not pick. The game continues until either you run out of tiles to place on the board or you run out of customers to place on the board. At the end of that, you're going to add up all your points and any extra perfume tokens you have left over. If they were big bottles, then you get 3 victory points for each leftover perfume bottle you had. And if they're on small cases, then you would get 2 points for each one. You can also add up any victory points that you would have through little water drops. And at the end of that, whoever has the most points wins the game. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Wow, what a fun game, right? This is a game that I saw at BGG-Con, but we could never get because it was always rented out, or the one person that had it kept it forever. But we could never get it, and I really wanted it. Now, my nephews were not so keen on getting a board game about perfume, but by that time, I was like, it's a queen game. I probably want to try it out. And it looked a lot of fun. And when I got it and I brought it for my nephews and I showed it to them, they're like, and then they played it, had a great time. My board game group about making perfume had a great time. This is a fantastic game and it's a lot of fun to play. Now, I like the uniqueness of this theme. The gameplay is fun on its own, but who thought about, yeah, we need to make a game about making and selling perfume that everyone will buy? And they're like, yeah, wait, what? I don't know what they were thinking, but I'm glad they thought it because it's such a fun game. It goes on Amazon anywhere between $15 to $10, which is where I got this from. I think I got it for 12 though, when it was down to 12, but it did drop to 10 at one time. So for that price, oh, it is definitely worth your time and money. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Till next time, game on.